Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's your boy Drew Boy from the Pacific Northwest. Um, this is a video in reply to Rick. Um, so where I'm from, the music base is very young, very little. I feel like New York has got a great music culture. You know, out in the East, a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap. I feel like the West, it's got California has got the big stigma, so they carried in a lot of weight. Um, I myself am from the Pacific Northwest. I am the first hip hop artist, the first hip hop face that has come forth and is saying, look, Oregon is here, right below Washington, right above Cali. Macklemore was the very first one to come in the scene about 2 years ago, independent artist as well. I've done a lot of studying. I've done a lot of hours on the sideline studying, taking in documentaries, taking in personal word from musicians that I'd like to be like, telling me, you know what, the industry ain't really what it used to be. The media is almost obsolete, and because in the way that we can manage ourselves now, and we don't need big media honchos to help us get out there, or we don't need that much money. I mean, me coming me being the first one in my state has hasn't been anything easy. Hearing people in the radio, and these were the only people that I could see, and I couldn't even see them physically next to me. There was nobody that I could visually see around me, that I could visualize physically doing what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. How come there's nobody in my state? How come there's nobody? How come there is nobody that is inspiring the youth around here, man? Today here in Oregon is the October 1st, 2015. The law just passed by where dispensaries are able to sell to anybody over 21. Also today was the day that there was a school shooting down in Eugene where Steve Prefontaine, one of the best runners from the United States, came out of. All I see is here is just like in the rest of the there's not a lot of negativity here. It's a beautiful place. It's an untouched market. But I would like to see more inspiration coming from within. I like to see a door open for kids so that there could be 10 heads, there could be 100 more heads, there could be, you know, an unlimited amount of cases where kids could come up from doing music and do something about it. Because when I was growing up, there was no one that I could see physically, visually, rapping, writing lyrics, being into their craft, mastering their craft, giving time into their craft. I was the only one. When people told me that I couldn't do it, people said, Andrew, Drew boy, you can't rap on beat. You can't keep beat. You can't make songs. You'll never be able to make songs. You'll never be able to make music. So when they told me that, I took it and I said, okay. With a humble head, but now I look back and they're nowhere to be found. So now I look back and it's been 10 years since we started writing lyrics. 10 years since we first started writing. At least 10 years since we've been grinding nonstop. Sleepless hours, man. Sometimes my studio producer tells me, Drew, how are you so devoted? I tell him, this is everything I wanted to do since I was a kid. I wanted to be a voice for the unheard. I want to be a voice for my kind. I want to be a voice for my state, for my kids. I'm also an immigrant. I was brought here when I was very little. All I know is this place. All I know is Oregon. Elementary, middle school, high school. I graduated from here. Virtually all my friends, everyone I know, my roots, everything comes from here. But you know where I peeped the game? From everywhere in the United States. And back in the day, what helped me out was, man, I grew up with Windows 95. I grew up with Paint. I grew up with Excel. I grew up with typewriting. And I grew up with Google. And back in the day, I would never take no for an answer. Matter of fact, I never still take no for an answer. But if anything pops up into mind, I'm curious about anything. Anything pops up into this mind, and I'm curious. I like to double check something. I Google it. I like to educate myself upon the fact, upon the subject matter. And so something that really helped me out was YouTube and the internet, and the fact that there wasn't much music here in Oregon being made, but there was lots of beats, lots of instrumentals being produced all over the world, and I was really able to take my time, because I took lots of years to take my time and find some of what I thought was the best music, the best beats that I could to represent, to put on for my movement, for my people, for my state. Right now I have the Oregon album coming out in the next few months. If God permits, here by Christmas we should have the Oregon album completed. But right now I have a mixtape called the Oktoberfest mixtape, which I have out, and I would just like to get out there going so that you guys can see. And matter of fact, I'm gonna put some songs up today, and I'd like to get a few pieces of feedback from you guys. With that being said, I would just like to thank you guys for your time, and let me check in with you guys tonight. And also I would like to thank Rick Barker Music for his tips on showing us how to branch ourselves, how to promote, how to sell ourselves, how to get ourselves out there through the media in this day and age, with his 5 keys to success, which the first one is, one, starting with your music. What your music is your music good? What are you making music for? Find your audience. 2, your work ethic. Are you willing to go the extra mile? Are you willing to put in the extra work so that you can chase your dreams and one day live the life that you know you deserve? 3 is the message that you carry across your fans. What is your message? What do you stand up for? What are you writing for? Write with a mission. 4 is public access. Do your fans have immediate access to you? Does it feel like your fans can touch you? Can they reach you? Can you reach them? Can you post something on the page to make them feel like, hey, I'm right there with you, we're all in the same boat? And 5 is your consistency of all these things and how you work them. I would just like to thank you guys for paying attention tonight and just being here with us. And much love and peace to you guys from Oregon, man. It's the Oregon rapper, your boy Druh Boy. And you guys know I got you guys and I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Rick Barker. It means a lot to me, man. Northwest out.
Northwest, we the ones they didn't figure out. They forgot that in the past they were looking for a route. St. Louis and Clark about on the voice for a while. Up the Missouri to the left just to look around, looking for a way around the mountains that's in our house. To went to the west, looking for the northwest route. Then it's our lovely house, sunshine with some clouds. Rain made the grass grow greener where I'm about. Our soil and trees grow deeper from in the ground. Our grass and leaves are greener than turf down. They saw the promised land, wanted it in their hands. They said we're headed west to Oregon, Cho came next. Man, we the best, what you think we so hungry? Reason we on deck screaming, I'm from the 503 Oregon where I live. OG in Washington, study next to hustling. Go get it how you live. I ain't your average, my city me is matching. Green valleys and mountains, great northwest, can you imagine? The desert and the ocean, the falls and the forest. The I-5 and 101 lead down to the Golden Gate. Man, I love all it from Brookings to Portland. See, out of the Crater Lake, Ashland to Tacoma. Home of the Simpsons like Bart and Homer. From Eugene to Spokane, the Northwest is spoken. Let's go north of the west, now you know we bout to blow. From the Pacific Northwest to the East Atlantic coast. Shout out to London, stop by to say hello. Out in Tokyo, konnichiwa to all my folks. You ready to go, you ready, let's see your O's. We running like Prefontaine, running from hood to coast. I'm from the valley, Willamette, where we ride. Flying to the hood, up and down the I-5. And I'm out in the valley, the valley. Out in Willamette, what, Willamette. I'm from the valley, the valley. Out in Willamette, what, Willamette. You can find me riding with the city behind me. On my ground, I keep riding. My people steadily climbing to the east. I pay homage if you listen. I'm on a reason. I was out in Brooklyn while Joy was out in Oregon. Out in the valley, the valley. Out in Willamette, what, Willamette. I'm from the valley, the valley. Out in Willamette, what, Willamette, the valley. taught me to ride and toughen up my mind. Back when hip-hop taught me to rhyme, it taught me to climb. All I do is ride and write, hitting this from left to right, riding up the mountainside, wheeling with my country guys. They forgot that in the past, they were looking for a route. You're now Oregon riding, this is the Northwest route.